Hello everyone! I spent $160 on white gel pens on Amazon, so you don't have to. About 2 months ago we released a video all about the PANDAFLY white gel pen and how excited I was about this gel pen. Well, we heard back from a lot of you and found out that there were other brands that you were also excited about with the gel pens. But they all look suspiciously similar, don't they, Steve?
Definitely.
So I went down a rabbit hole and I did a bunch of research and I filled up my Amazon cart with 20 different white gel pens for us to compare and really investigate. Maybe that's the best word. We are investigating white gel pens. Are these gel pens, look at these. Are these all coming from the same manufacturer in China, or is there a difference between each of these gel pen brands? That's one of the questions we want to know. The other thing I want to know is which one of these 20 should I recommend to you? Is it still PANDAFLY? Is it UNIBALL SIGNO? Is it Sakura Jelly Roll? Or is it one of these other Chinese brands? I don't know. The only way we can do it is a battle of the white gel pens. So I have a worksheet that I'm going to work through with a lot of tests for each of the gel pens. We're going to swatch them side by side. We're going to talk about price. We're going to really dive in deep and investigate. So which white gel pen will come out on top as my #1 recommendation? This is going to be exciting, and I know a lot of you are very invested in white highlights for your art and you want the right gel pen to do the job. So we're going to start with box number 1. I have them all numbered from 1 to 20 and I alphabetized them. That's how I ordered them. So Arteza is first, but I wanted to show you how the Arteza box arrived.
Oh no. Yeah. Are there any missing in there?
No, actually all 12 are still there, so I'm hopeful that it was just torn as it was coming out of a box or something. So yeah, so let's start with Arteza. All right, so I'm going to be doing my testing on black paper. This is a vellum cardstock. What's the weight on that, Steve?
80 pound, 216 GSM.
So it's a really nice cardstock, and I have this page here where we're going to do a circle for each of the 20 white gel pens so that we can compare. Is it a whiter white, a more opaque white, a more transparent white, all those things.
Probably temperature too, I would think, like warmer or cooler.
Warmer, yeah, whether it's Wings red or blue, we'll be able to see all of that here on this comparison chart. And then each page, each gel pen gets its own testing worksheet here. And we're going to rank them in the end to see what our #1 is. So let's grab a random gel pen out of here, and I'm going to use the actual white gel pen for the test on all the writing as well. So we'll be able to really warm the pen up and then get into all the tests. So I'll break down the test for you as we go. Okay, so I filled out the general pen info, date, the name of the box, and what the box says they are. Then it has 12 pens. These pens are 0.8 millimeters, so they're a medium tip. And then the cost of the packs, the cost per pen, and then I just made a note that the box came damaged. So that's the pen info at the top. So #1, we're going to be swatching in, filling the rectangle with white, and if the pack comes with a silver and gold, I'm also going to swatch right here at the silver and gold. I don't have a silver and gold in this pack, so we'll skip that. Notes, I'm going to say I used light pressure. I guess I don't have to write this every time, but I used light pressure, but railroading still occurred. All right, I wanted to show you a different angle of the railroading. So if you look at like the L in light or the L in railroading, almost looks like 2 tiny little lines with black in between. That's what railroading is. So you've probably had a pen that has done it to you before and you just didn't know the name of the problem, which is called railroading. All right, #2, we're going to look at details. What can this pen do? Now we only have 1 nib size, so I'm going to put 0.8 right here and 0.8 right here. And on this side, in this rectangle, we're going to do flicks, and over here we're going to do little stippling dots. Oh yeah, that railroading is terrible. If I do it really light and slow, you can see it helps, but you can't get a good flick if you're going really light and slow. And sometimes you want to add like little hairlines, and flicks are perfect.
And it looks like it skipped too.
Yeah, when I was going really slow.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see how it does with dots. Okay, and then I'm going to do a couple solid dots too. Okay. All right, lots of railroading I'm going to put down here. Okay, now let's move on to number 3, where we're going to talk about consistency. I'm going to draw straight and squiggly lines, and we want to see if the lines stay consistent, or do they have little skips, or pooling is what we're looking for. So we're going to be doing the 0.8 nib. And I'm going to turn it so that my hand is straight here, and we'll just do a nice long line, a couple of them. And I'll point out right there is a pool. Can you see how it goes wider and more opaque right there? That's pooling. Squiggly lines tend to do a little better, but not always. So a little pooling, but not too bad. We've got railroading again, but no skipping, and just one pool. One pool right there. I'm going to circle that pool so we can see it later. And write minimal pooling. Railroading. So when we have a set of pens that have 3 different tip sizes included, then all of these other rectangles will get used. But for Arteza, we just have 1 nib or tip size to work with. Okay, here again we only have 1 nib size, so I've put a 0.8 right there. And we're going to do some letter writing. Lettering, write words and letters. So I like to do a little cursive, and then I like to do, most of the time I'm writing in print, and then I'm going to do it really fast. Okay, you can tell when I speed up, the railroading doubles. Okay, so it's just, again, consistently the railroading is a problem here.
How did it do otherwise?
No skipping. It kept up with what I was doing. So other than that, I'm happy with it. But I'm not happy with the railroading. It looks messy to me when it does this. So, okay, mixed media. This is where I want to see if the white gel pen can perform on top of color pencil and acrylic markers. So we've got 3 rectangles here. The first one we're going to use for a wax-based pencil crayon or colored pencil, and then here we have an oil-based color pencil. So I grabbed 2 pencils here. We've got Scarlet Lake PC923 by Prismacolor to represent the wax, and then I've got a Polychromos. This is Deep Scarlet Red, number 219, to represent the oil. And then I just grabbed one of the Ohuhu acrylic paint pens in blue for this square. So the first thing I have to do before we can test this gel pen is I need to color probably about 3 quick layers of color pencil and 1 layer of acrylic marker in these squares, and then we'll be ready to test the white gel pen on top. Now the reason I picked red is because it's notorious for transferring its color into the white gel pen. So you'll write a little white highlight with your white gel pen, and you want it to stay white, and it ends up turning pink because the red leaches up into it. So that's why I picked red for these white gel pen marks, to see how bad it is. And then this is just a nice blue chubby acrylic marker, so it should go down really fast and easy and give us a more plasticky type surface to go on top of. I picked blue for you, Steve.
Thank you. Wow.
Okay, we got to let this dry, but we can go ahead and work on the wax. So we're going to draw lines. I'm going to go, okay, I've got a swatch piece of paper because sometimes it gets gummed up as you're trying to do this. So I want to try some lines. This is why we're testing this. Some flicks. Some stippling. Okay, that's working a little better. And I'm going to test a little like shape. Like maybe you're doing a triangular shape highlight or a moon-shaped highlight. All right. I'm not surprised by that result. Let's see how it does on oil. Okay, I'm going to clean the tip off onto my little scratch piece of paper here and double check that this is dry, which it is. And this should work really well. Highlights on top of acrylic paint usually works really well, but I wanted to test this and see for myself if there was a better pen for this. Okay, so for me, railroading is still a problem. And it definitely worked better on the oil-based pencil versus the wax. But we got beautiful results on our acrylic. So great on acrylic. I'm really curious to see as we go through the different brands. This test right here is really important for mixed media art. Okay, there you can see it. Looks good. So now I'm going to put some final thoughts, and I'm not going to score it yet because I want to kind of get a feel for, you know, is this a 5? Is this an average result? Or is this terrible? Is this a 1? Or is this a 10? I don't know yet. So I don't want to score yet until I get a feel for other brands as well. But final thoughts is railroading. Probably that's the biggest problem.
I was going to say, it seems like that's about the only...
That's the only issue,
so far.
Really.
Like you said, as you get going, it'll be interesting to see.
Yeah, because the pooling was minor.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'll just put railroading
Overall,
as a really frustrating part of it.
Pretty good.
Yep. So let's take a quick look at the Arteza pen. It's, it says it's 0.8 on it, and it's kind of a smaller body. So this is one of the things I want to see is the inner little, what do you call it? The tube?
Chamber.
The
tube.
chamber that it's,
Yeah.
you know, are some of them bigger and hold more ink? That's one of the things I want to know. So I'm going to keep this gel pen out as our guinea pig gel pen, and I'm going to write a number 1 on it because this is our first, this is the number 1 set. So I'm just going to use an acrylic pen and write number 1 on it, and I'm going to keep this out of the box so we can compare bodies and look at the different pens later. And I forgot to write, we didn't have you put a box on the worksheet, Steve, for the number that the set belongs to.
Yeah.
So I'll just write it up there, number 1. So by the way, I wanted to tell Steve thank you for making a chart. I tried making a chart and it was not as beautiful as this chart is.
You're welcome.
And what do you think, Steve? Should we make this available in our premium library?
Yeah.
So if you want to test your own white gel pens and use this format, all you have to do is come on over to Coloring Bliss and become a member, a paid member, and you get access to the entire premium library, which has like 1,000
Over 1,000, yeah.
coloring pages and resources like this worksheet right here. So come and check that out. There's a link in the video description that will take you over to Coloring Bliss, and you can check out this worksheet. All right, that's how the worksheet works. I've got 19 more to fill out. So let's cue the music montage. And oh, before we cue the montage, I forgot we need to fill in one dot.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm going to write number 1. Maybe I'll write, no, I just want a 1. A little 1 next to it. And I will quickly fill this in, and then I'm going to dive into set number 2, and we'll just work through this. And at the end, we will go through and score and see who comes out on top. Well, that was a lot of work. Now I'm regretting making my circles as big as I did. Oh well, we have committed now, so let's move on forward. Okay, we've come to one of these new sets of pens that I found as I was going down this rabbit hole. I have a few sets like this. They have like 5 or multiple different kinds of white pens. So here we have an acrylic brush tip pen that is part of this pack. And then we have 2 white gel pens, and then 2 more acrylic markers that have a dot tip on one end, and on this end a fine point. So we get 1, 2, 3, 4 different types of tips in one combo pack, which is pretty cool. So I have a little extra space on my charts here. So down here I'll probably add a little bit of some of these other brush tips so we can see how they perform as well. But I'm generally going to use a gel pen, the standard looking gel pen for the tests. Alright, I'm working on the Yolaka, which is actually the Languo highlights set. That's what we received, even though it was called Yolaka. And I wanted to test plugging the end, that hack that we learned that makes the Languo gel pens flow better. So I'm just going to plug up the end of this white gel pen with a little kneaded eraser, just like that, and try coloring with it. Yeah, that's much better. I did the whole test without the plug because that seemed only fair to the other gel pens, but I think it's even flowing better for writing. A little better, yeah. Okay, so that little plug on the back of a Languo gel pen is still a really good hack. Okay, it's many hours later, and I am all done. Look, we have all 20 little dots all colored up, and we have 20 test pages to look at. And check this out. Let me zoom it out a little bit. This is one pen from every set, so we have 20 pens here that we're going to be able to compare and look at. And I'm just going to look at all of these. Are basically identical pens. So of the 20 sets, Steve, can you believe it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 of them are in this particular design right here. So yeah, we learned a lot, but now we need to score the test results and talk about the winners and the things that I learned as we went through. For instance, I discovered that gel pens love to go on top of acrylic paint. I didn't know that they were so very happy to flow on an acrylic. Even the ones that had flow issues did good on acrylic paint. So that was an interesting thing to learn. Okay, time to do some scoring. Okay, we have finished doing the big tally. We know who the winner and the losers are now. So I think the first thing, though, I want to talk about, Rose, is something called white labeling. So we'll just go over what that is really quick. Steve, would you mind telling them really quick what white labeling is?
You bet. A company in China, say a manufacturer, makes a product like white gel pens, and then anybody can go to that manufacturer and slap their own logo and do their own boxing and packaging and anything, and they're all selling the exact same product, but just under a different name.
Right. That was perfect. Thank you, Steve. Now, that's exactly what's going on here. We've discovered that easily by looking at the bodies of the pens. They're all identical. Even the boxing,
half of them.
Yeah, half of them were identical. These half down here. And it's a nice body, don't get me wrong. So here we've got the name, like Steve said, they slap on the name of the brand they want to sell it under. This says White Gel Pen 1.0. It's kind of a triangular type body, is how it feels, a rounded triangle. That's what I'm going to call it. And it has a really nice 1.0mm tip, a good clicky cap. It's just a really good little pen. I'm quite pleased with it. I think we gave all these pens a 4 for their body design because they're just a nice, and I think they have more ink. If you look at Artesa's pen, look how skinny that inner tube is compared to these Chinese ones. I think Artesa's a Chinese one too.
Yeah.
But yeah. So I'm really pleased they all got a 4 for their body. Now, Miss Rose wants to get down. And that's okay. We've been here like all day.
Yeah.
So everyone say goodbye to Rose. Yes. Thank you, Steve.
Mm-hmm. I wanted to say something. If you think of each component of this pen, right? So you got the ink inside.
Right.
That could be one manufacturer or multiple manufacturers.
Oh, yeah.
And all of them are using a similar body.
Oh, dear.
So
yeah.
just because it has the same body doesn't necessarily mean it's the exact same ink inside.
That's true.
And same with the packaging. You know, you could have multiple manufacturers going to one printer, and that printer just happens to print this type of box, you know, or
That's
so
true.
so we'll never really know.
No. So I'm coming across this same problem with my next project. We're looking into doing a big battle of the acrylic markers, and I have found like 10 different brands that all had the same packaging, but different names. And like Steve said, how do you know if the markers are the same, or did they use the same packaging company, or it's very frustrating. So that's why we did this video, because I didn't want you to have to go out and buy 20 different gel pens to determine which one you want to use. So hopefully the results here will help you. So let's go ahead and we're going to start with the the losers, and we'll move up through those. We'll move through them pretty quick. In 20th place, in last place, we have a Languo gel pen. So this one is being sold by Yolaka. And I think the main reason why I didn't enjoy it is because it's a 0.6 millimeter tip instead of a 1 millimeter tip. I really like a bolder tip. It makes a huge difference when you're coloring and adding highlights. Sometimes you want a thin little teeny tiny highlight, but most of the time a 1 millimeter does the job.
Well, you were also saying it's not very opaque. You weren't impressed with the ink.
You have to do that hack where you plug the end to get really good flow. Yeah. It's just not that great of an experience. So that's why it landed in 20. So I'm going to go through a bunch now kind of quick. So here is Arteza. This one, Arteza, in case you didn't know, got sold recently. So it has a new owner. But I wasn't a fan of their white gel pens, which is too bad because you get 12 in a pack, which is a pretty good value. Yeah. It's just not a great pen. Okay, here, look how beautiful. Look at the difference between this pen and that pen, the white. Look at the difference. Crazy better, but this is still just 18th place. So this one was, I'm not even going to pronounce some of these. 17th place was Just Art. 16th place, Geth Pen. 15 was PANDAFLY. The white pen set came with a brush, a dot pen, and a fine pen, which was really fun to play around with, but it still wasn't that great of an experience. The value was pretty off too. Anyway. I don't know how to say that one, but that one's number 14. We have Sakura Jelly Roll. Came in at 13, so it didn't even make the top 10 in my groupings, which is surprising. It fell short when it comes to price, $1.83 per pen. And the body, I'm not a fan of the Sakura Jelly Roll body. I like the look of it, but the feel of it in my hand, I really don't like. So experience was a 3. So yeah, it came in at place 13. Okay, here's another word that I can't say in number 12. And like, see, it's nonsense letters. It's just type, 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 and there's a title. Number 11. Geth Pen got number 10. So here we're getting into some better gel pens now. Some that if you came across these, I think you'd be happy with them. Number 9 was Shuttle Art, which I was surprised because we've kind of struggled with Shuttle Art products lately. They haven't scored really well. So I was glad to see that their white gel pen particularly does quite well. Not terrible, but not great, is some of the things I said about them. That's why it's right in the middle. Okay, number 8 is Mart Color. The box for Mart Color, let me grab that for just a second. Okay, I wanted to show you, they are blatantly copying Prismacolors, like the font.
Oh, yeah.
And that colorful rainbow line underneath it. They've just went and saw Prismacolor and copied it. Called it Mart Color.
Wow.
Anyway, that kind of upset me, so I'm a little sad that hit number 8. But again, this one was like a crunchy feeling as I colored with it, so not the best pen. Number 7, another name I can't pronounce. It's looking better though. This set again had a brush and a dot pen and a fine, really fun set of pens here for under $10. Okay, number 6 was ZSCM. Again, we have some different pens here to play around with. Nice flow. Okay, top 5. So I would say any of the top 5, if you purchased them, you'd be pretty happy with it. But I would go for number 1 if I were you.
There,
so,
she's back.
Oh, she's back. She's going to want a treat. But I'm not going to give her a treat, you guys. She's had so many today. So she's just going to stand there and stare at the treats and whine. Okay, back to number 5. This is BUUTIIGER. BUUTIIGER.
Who knows?
Okay, this one, this was one of the ones that someone in our community recommended. when we were recommending the PANDAFLY, this was another one that they were like, you need to check out this one. And it's basically the same body. It's one of those that had this isn't it here, but it's one of these bodies. So it's a really good pen. They're only $1 per pen. You get 9 in the pack with a variety of tip sizes. That's a good one to buy right there. So I'm going to have Steve put links, Amazon links, to the top 5.
Yeah.
So this one is one of the ones, if you can get your hands on it, is a good set. Look, I even wrote impressive at the very bottom. Impressive. Okay, number 4 is GETFOO. White gel pens. These ones are under $1 per pen, so only 89 cents per pen. Look how pretty. No issues. Little railroading. On these pens that have the same body, the 0.8 millimeter tips all struggled. So that makes me think they're coming from the same manufacturer.
Well, it just means they have the same body.
The same body. But the same ink too, maybe?
I don't think so.
I don't know. Anyway, so when you see me complaining about the 0.8, I complained about it on almost every one of those pens that were in that tray. So all 3 work well. Minor skipping, but it's just beautiful. Look, it got 4s all the way through on the score. $7.99 for 9 pens. Great value. So the GETFOO is another one I would recommend. Number 3, we have our PANDAFLY, and this one came with 3 colors. When we did the original review, I don't think it had silver and gold in that.
I think
pack.
it was just the 3 whites.
It was just the whites. So these are all 1.0 millimeters, so that's my favorite tip size, and they were all that tip size. You get a silver and a gold. It says it great, perfect, lovely, works well. I like the set, but I said it was too pricey, but really it's not that when you compare it to some of the other ones. I should put a, what were you thinking, Jennifer? A note on that.
You were just looking
there.
at the $1.39 per
Maybe
pen.
so, the $1.39 per pen. Yeah. So this set here, though, PANDAFLY with the 3 color gel pens, really good deal right there.
Or just get the 3
get the whites and don't worry about the silver and the gold.
Because that gold isn't that great.
No, it's not. Let me move it in the light. It's just not that great. I'll move the other ones in the light when we get to the top ones here. So in number 2, here's a good silver and gold. This is my beloved UNIBALL SIGNO Broad. It made number 2. I'll move that in the light.
I'm really surprised something beat it.
Me too. One good thing about UNIBALL SIGNO and Sakura Jelly Roll is that they are widely available and they're dependable. You know they're going to be there probably 5 years from now. You can still get a Sakura Jelly Roll white. Whether or not you can get PANDAFLY 5 years from now, who knows? Who knows? So, yeah. Minor skipping, some railroading, really did a good job. I love my UNIBALL. Look at that white. Just stunning. So pretty. Worked really well. It says it was a little inconsistent. You can see that in the flicks. But it still worked and it didn't turn pink. Really well. Really good. So here's number 1. This was the BRUSARTH highlight pens. They're 1.0 millimeter tips. You get 8 of them in the pack, so they're only 62 cents per pen. Such a good value. It got a 5 for value down here. And here I said it almost skipped, but it hung in there. It's beautiful. I said amazing, nice juicy flow. Flow is fantastic. A little skipping, but overall great. I want you to compare. Look at the flicks for the UNIBALL SIGNO versus the flicks here. You can see it just performed better. It did better than the UNIBALL SIGNO. That's pretty cool. So, and then I just put down here, I really enjoyed this pen, so that's why it got such a high score of 24. So this is the box that you want to look for. Like I said, all those bodies had similar boxes, these black boxes with some sort of white imagery on the front, a name, there's some red. So it's really confusing. So follow the link in the video description and we'll send you right to this box right here for our number 1 pick. $5?
Yeah.
Really?
$5 for 8.
Sorry,
and it's been because what is the SIGNO like? What did you say?
The SIGNO, a good deal on the SIGNO was almost $15 for the pack of 9. And this is $5 for a pack of 8.
Wow.
They're all whites. So $5, you guys. That is pretty cool. And it beat the one that we previously were like, woohoo!
PANDAFLY, yeah.
PANDAFLY. So, but again, if you bought the PANDAFLY, I don't think you need to go buy these because it's the same body. But if you're going through your white gel pens quickly, this would be the next set I would have you purchase.
So,
right there.
This is what makes me think that the ink isn't necessarily the same with all of these. Because you have one like this that performed exceptional.
Yeah.
And you have others that are also the same body where they just perform terrible.
Yeah.
And so obviously that means either it's not the same ink or maybe it's been sitting longer.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Could be on the shelf longer in the Amazon warehouse. Or...
and again, that's, I think, the problem with these white label brands is you just don't know what kind of quality control or, are you going to be able to depend on them later on? Will this one be around in a year? Yeah,
who knows? It might be around just in a different name, but then does that mean it's...
Yeah, but you would have to buy, 20 packs to figure that out.
And you want to think things are even more confusing. The Amazon white gel pen sitting in the warehouse close to me was this box here. But what if it's a different run of gel pens sitting in someone else's Amazon warehouse? Yeah. This is where the Chinese brands get extremely frustrating because there's no quality checking, no consistency. Where with like Sakura Jelly Rolls, Sakura's got their name on that, and they want to make sure all their white jelly roll pens going out are top prime. Same with UNIBALL SIGNO. So again, do you go with a legacy brand that you know is going to be around again in 5 years, and you know that they are listening and they are, being held accountable for their products?
Yeah, because they have a brand to protect.
Yeah, or do you give it a swing and try some of these?
It's pretty hard to say no at $5.
At $5, yeah. If you need some white gel pens for $5, give it a swing and see if it's as impressive as... Well, I went from swatching the Arteza first, right? And then I went and swatched this one. So I swatched one of the low ones first, and then the highest one second. Yeah. And I remember when I first started filling in this little rectangle right here.
Yeah, it just
I was like, what? And let's compare it to Arteza now, which I think Arteza was 19, right? Yeah, look at the difference between that little swatch to first place again. Bam. It's just night and day. So there are differences in the white gel pens, but there are a ton of them out there that are white labeling, and we don't have control over how long those will be available, their quality, all those things. But for $5, I think it's a good gamble on these. I wish I could pronounce it. BRUSARTH?
Yeah,
BRUSARTH?
Sure. What I'd be really interested to test is if somebody else, say, on the East Coast, were to buy those and test them and see if they perform as well.
Okay.
Or not. That's where... So if you're on the East Coast or anywhere else.
Or Canada or wherever, and you can get your hands on the BRUSARTH, then make a comment. Help out our community. Let us know if you're as blown away with your set as I was with my set.
Yeah.
So you better subscribe to our channel and make sure you have the notification bell set so that you don't miss out when we do that upcoming acrylic marker battle. I hope you enjoyed this battle. It was a lot of work, but I think it was really worth it, and I feel like I learned a lot. And now I have hundreds of white gel pens. I think for Christmas in the Christmas socks, and all my sisters and nieces and nephews are all going to
White
get
gel
white
pens
gel
for
pens.
everybody.
Everybody gets a white gel pen back. Well, thank you for watching. Thank you, Rose, for being so patient today. And thank you, Steve, for doing the worksheet and helping me go through all of those results.
You're welcome.
And keep me honest and consistent. That's the word. He helps me stay consistent. So thank you, everyone. And I hope you all have a wonderful, colorful, blissful day. Bye-bye, everyone. Say bye. You got my hair in your mouth.